Good morning, good morning. Weir, road2roo.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. Always something exciting in the crypto world. I woke up this morning. Most of the cryptos were up. Some of the big names that I've been following and I own are up. I think people are starting to get what's going on, which is as companies come to market with their product, they're going to do extremely well in valuation. Ethereum is a great example of that. After the DAO debacle, Ethereum kind of wobbled around a bit, but once it was acknowledged that it is a good product, it is a useful product, Ethereum went from like $5 to $300, $400. I think you're going to see the same with some of these other true-to-life companies that are actually doing things, and crypto tokens that are doing things, cryptocurrencies that are doing things. I think Litecoin is about to see a major jump, mainly because of the Bitcoin Segwit 2x slash Bitcoin Cash slash what the hell's going on with Bitcoin debacle. A lot of people are getting into Bitcoin for the upcoming fork, thinking they're going to double, triple their money, not thinking potentially this could cause some problems with BTC. After the fork is done, and then if there is a fork even, it's still kind of up in the air, and which would mean Bitcoin Cash would be the new Bitcoin, really. It's a mess. It's a mess. This is the reason I pretty much stayed away from all the Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin 2x stuff. This is the reason, because I didn't want to be in the middle of it. And then we have a third-party wallet, Parity. It wasn't hacked, but it was deleted. Part of the necessary component to remove coins was deleted. They think it is by someone who didn't know what the hell they were doing. But if you have that kind of ability, it was just another problem. And Parity had a problem back in July. I think Parity's obviously technologically challenged. These are multi-sig wallets, and a lot of the ICOs were using them. Not a lot. The majority of this, and I'll show you in a second, the majority of the Parity hack had to do with the ICO started by the founder or the CEO of Parity. So he has most of his coins locked up. Okay, here's a quick explanation of what happened. I found this on Medium. Another Parity Wallet hack explained. I wouldn't say it's a hack, but today yet another vulnerability is discovered in Parity's implementation of multi-sig contracts deployed after July 20th. The scale of the hack is much larger than the previous one. The total amount of lost tokens is 514. That's $155 million worth. How and why this happened? How? Parity's multi-sig wallet consists of two parts: a lightweight contract, which is deployed every time when you create a new wallet, and the library contract, which contains the majority of wallet logic and is deployed only once. This is done to reduce gas usage when creating a new contract, and this is good if you implement it right. But what happened? Well, what happens? Yes, the library had the significant error, and right now this library is dead. So all tokens stored on, and so as all tokens stored on dependent contracts are dead as well. Why do I say library in quotes? Because it's not actually a library, it's a contract. So when Parity developers deployed some common code as a library, they actually deployed an uninitiated wallet. And someone who knows about it can initiate this wallet. At least now it can be initialized only once. It's a huge improvement since the last vulnerability. And eventually someone did it. It could be the end of the story, but this library contains one more interesting function. Then it talks about the function. And since somebody initialized this wallet and add them as an owner, they can kill it too. And since all other Parity multi-sig wallets depend on this contract, they are now completely unavailable, and it's literally left pad all over again. How can we fix it? There's no way to fix it without another hard fork in Ethereum. But rewind, decentralized, distributed, immutable, tamper-proof ledger is a slippery slope, as you know. So yeah, it's a mess on for these guys at Parity and anybody using the Parity wallet after July 20th that has put their cryptos in there. An interesting factoid is that the majority of it is owned of the cryptos are in the Ethereum that's in there is owned by the actual owner of Parity. Major vulnerability has frozen hundreds of millions of dollars in Ethereum. If you read this article, you can see today is not good news for Ethereum. A vulnerability found within a popular wallet has frozen potentially hundreds of millions of dollars of the cryptocurrency in a second setback in recent months. Again, it goes into Parity. It's the second time in just a few months that a major Parity bug has been unearthed with potentially costly repercussions for Ethereum, which is the world's second highest valued cryptocurrencies, with a total market cap of over 27 billion. Back in July, a vulnerability in Parity led to 130,000 ETH worth 30 million being stolen. That bug was fixed. You know, this isn't a problem with Ethereum, it's a problem with Parity, if you ask me. But the interesting thing about this is down here. They think right now at least 600,000 ETH are frozen, which is $150 million, and its total is likely to be higher. One high-profile company impacted is Polkadot, a project to link private public blockchains that raised over $140 million in token sales, was started by Parity co-founder Gavin Wood. Polkadot confirmed its wallets have been frozen, and TechCrunch understands that 60% of its ICO raise is potentially affected. So basically, of this 150 to 200 million that are frozen, about 85 to 90 million is owned by Polkadot, which is the Parity co-founder Gavin Wood's Ethereum. So if you own Polkadot, that's not a good thing. Gavin Wood, I would imagine, is on the hook for a lot of this stuff, given that he owns both. He owns the Parity wallet, or he doesn't own. He's the founder. I don't know. He's the co-founder. Yeah, co-founder of Parity. Yeah, so it's a mess. I agree. These things happen all the time. The big question is Ethereum going to fork because of this to erase the problem? They did it with the DAO, and which opened up the can of worms that we're having to deal with now. And so the dilemma is, do you do it again? You know, this Parity company apparently should not be out there offering multi-sig wallets unless they know what they're doing, and clearly they screwed up. So what is going to happen? You know, I don't know. But if you look at like the price of Ethereum, it's still at $300, so it hasn't affected it all that much. And will Ethereum fork because of it? Unknown. Obviously a fork is not a good thing. It's filled with controversy because there's people on one side who don't have any Ethereum in this Parity wallet who's like, no, it's whoever it's buyer beware. Wherever you put your cryptos in a wallet, you got to make sure that wallet is safe and secure, and the company you're dealing with, or like I say, always use wallet where you control the keys to that wallet, and that's the key to what's going on in the Parity wallet. Is anybody with a crypto in this Parity wallet, they don't control the keys. They're completely reliant upon Parity working. So, and I've said it a million times, I don't think that's a good idea. But I understand the multi-sig wallet thing, and yeah, you're going to have to, with multi-sig wallets, you need a third party, and yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this one. Yeah, I don't even know if some of the ICOs I've invested in had Ethereum in any of the Parity wallets, which is more than likely. It's some people had some. So we move on in the crypto world, but the good thing is we've got some movement in the altcoins. Litecoin obviously is way undervalued and has some good moves. I think it even touched 49 or so a little while ago, a couple days ago. And now it's up at 62 and moving, which is great for Litecoin owners. But remember, this is a long-term deal for most people. Most people, I advise everybody, if you're going to invest in the cryptos, you're investing in the future, not the past. So if you want to sell something to get into another crypto, yeah, you judge which crypto has the most to move in a given amount of time, and you make that move. If you're investing in the cryptos because you believe that there's a new economy being built right next door to our old economy, then yeah, you make your buys and you close your eyes. Make your buys, close your eyes. You hodl, hold on for dear life, and only because, yeah, it would be fun to day trade, and day traders love this stuff. 10% jumps one day, 15% crashes, and they can get in, get out, and if that's what you want to do all day, go for it. Have a day. I'd rather just sit back in my easy chair, drink my Horn of Z's, my cup of coffee, and wait it out. 2018 is going to be the year of the cryptos. It wasn't 2017. Yes, they all went up greatly. 2018, it's going to be a transformation from the old system to the new system. That's where the real monster moves are. Some of the others, Amizigo, up pretty good, up 5%, 666. Uh-oh, 666. Everybody write that down. Run for the hills. EOS, yeah, it's been rocking lately, up 20% today. All these, they're all kind of exciting. If you can pick a crypto that you understand and you see the need for it, the necessity of it. And speaking of the necessity of it, Populus, PPT. This is the token that I give out with the 1 ounce silver coin for anybody who subscribes to the private road at roadtoruta.com. I've been giving it for 6 months now. Since the coins came out, and Populus has gone from $1 a coin and is now $5 a coin and moving. Because I believed Populus is a great idea and a great company with invoice factoring, a huge, huge area that the banksters are vulnerable from because they extract too much money out of it. And Populus basically takes that concept and destroys the bankers' profit center in this area. And it really does. Invoice factoring, it feeds upon these small to medium-sized companies that have to rely on banker money for short-term stuff while their invoices are out to be paid. And Populus is a great solution to that, and it will be implemented by next year. So yeah, I'm real excited about Populus. PPT, obviously the coin has gone into some high moves. Other people are starting to realize just what a change, what a disruption this will be in a multi-billion, if not trillion-dollar industry of invoice factoring. Great time. It's up 33% today. You can't moan about that. So anybody who joined the Road to Ruta, your little investment in Populus that I sent you in a paper wallet has just gone up 33% today, 34%. And it's been going up, ever since you got it. So hang on to your Populus. Anybody looking to invest in a crypto as a base crypto investment for the future, Populus is a great, great company and token to invest in. What else? What else should we comment on? 10x, the credit card, they've had their ups and downs. There are issues with, what regions they can operate in. I do own some, and I like the concept. I think the crypto credit cards will have their day in the sun in 2018. So yeah, remember, you want to buy low and sell high. And speaking of buying low, salt went down to I don't know if it broke the $2 range, but in the last couple of days, it's back up to $3. I think salt's going to go ballistic when their product hits the offering table. And those of you who follow salt, just recently they announced that you can use salt tokens, selling them, using them to pay off the interest on your loans at the retail price. So your salt tokens will be worth $25 if you're using them to pay a certain portion of the interest rate that you get charged on your crypto loan. real exciting stuff there. I think it's massively undervalued, obviously, at $3. But hey, it is what it is. And before the product is released, that's what these things do. They flounder around, and everybody chases the high movers. So everybody's running into Populous now because it's up 33%. Then they're going to run out of Populous and into something else. I'd rather wait until the product is released, have time to be digested so that the people who are investing in these companies get an idea of what the tokens should be worth. And that's what I'm more into, of the valuation of the tokens, is what is this company worth? What are they going to do over the next 5 years? I think Salt is going to hit it out of the park, and I'm very excited about that. Always have been. And I think they're still on track for their first loan offerings by the end of the year, which is less than 2 months away. So keep an eye on Salt at $3 right now. And then there's Veritasium, the bank killer. Veritasium injects peer-to-peer transactions into our corrupt systems like the comics and the LBMA and the stock market, and all the corruption can be done away with Reggie's Veritasium. We're still waiting on the Jamaican Stock Exchange announcement. It isn't dead, it's just delayed. I think it's delayed for bigger reasons, bigger things going on behind the scenes than just what Reggie's doing. I think it has to do with the transition. It has to do with the perfect timing for something like Veritasium, peer-to-peer transactions, to change the world. So Veritasium, absolutely screaming by. Cliff High's data has it going higher than Bitcoin. So yeah, going from 64 to, what is Bitcoin now, 7,500 or 7,700, something like that. That'd be a big move. You make, what's that, 100 times your money. What? 100 times your money? We'll see what happens. Yeah, Veritasium's always a screaming buy under $1,000. But a lot of it's just waiting. Just waiting for products to come to market, for people to recognize what's happening, that the world is changing, and our economic system is drastically changing, and it drastically needed it. All those silver and gold bugs who say that the cryptos are lousy and they suck and they're backed by nothing. The cryptos are solving your problem. The reason people got into gold and silver is that they didn't trust the fiat system. But gold and silver weren't strong enough to take out the fiat system, because the fiat system is run by the criminal bankers who rig all the gold and silver markets. Well, if you can't beat them within their own system, why not invent a new system right next door? That's what is being done with the cryptos, and everything's going to go from the old corrupt system to the new honest system based on blockchain technology, based on the truth machine. And that's what I'm investing in. That's what I'm excited about. And I know a lot of people have been listening to me for years and have come to that realization that there is a change going on. This is not a flash in the pan. These are not, little dots in the ether. This is the right way, the smart way to go forward, the smart way to take out the old system, take out the criminality that the gold and silver bugs want gone so badly. And the cryptos will actually save gold and silver, because at some point the COMEX and the LBMA will either stop functioning, or they're going to have to inject some blockchain technology into their criminal system to make it peer-to-peer equivalent. For example, Veritasium. Veritasium goes into the CME or the COMEX and the LBMA. Instantly, they can't lie, cheat, or steal. It's peer-to-peer contracts. And instantly, gold and silver would be released from the criminality of the evil JP Morgan and friends. But that's coming. It's just not here today. 2018 is probably the time. Those worried about the COMEX trading futures and options in Bitcoin, I wouldn't worry about it at all. I think when it does happen, you're going to see the banksters playing in that world. But if there is a delivery component, they're going to have to deliver. Remember, there's only 21 million Bitcoins that ever can be made, and there's, I think, 16 and a half, 17 million that have been mined so far. And it's the scarcity factor. So if they start trading a Bitcoin contract that has any kind of deliverability and they start trading in the hundreds of millions of coins like they do in silver and gold, you just take delivery and you walk away, and the COMEX is actually destroyed. And that'll be a good thing for humanity. In Cliff's data, it actually says that people just ignore the COMEX and the LBMA starting, as soon as the cryptos break out. I mean, the metals break out. So probably next year, prices from the COMEX and the LBMA will not even be looked at. It'll be, who cares? Who cares about what the bankers are doing? Because it's not going to be relevant to what's going on in the peer-to-peer economy, where the real physical gold and silver will be traded. Anyway, that's your morning update. I'll do a zero hedge update in a little bit, and make sure you guys make your purchases in cryptos and then put them on your own wallet. I like the paper wallets. You have your public address and your private key. That's all you need. That's what a wallet is. If there's any third party in between you and your crypto, you don't own it, and you're subject to the potential for problems like in the Parity Wallet. So be smart. Keep your cryptos close. Keep your silver close, and even your gold, if you have 1 ounce of gold, as for history reasons. This is Weir, Rodura.com. I'll talk to you later.